Hello you gorgeous donuts. Today we're going to be reacting to the juiciest of Am I the Arsehole on Reddit. As we proceed with this video, the worse that the situations get, and there's one specific situation that is gonna leave you mind blown. Am I the arsehole for calling my wife fat? Okay, we're off to a great start. I, 34 male, work in a physically demanding field. Myself and my co-workers are all fit people, without a lot of body type variety. My wife, 32 female, is fat. Next time, just be a little bit more honest, okay, sir? Speak your mind a little bit more. The thing is, she's always been fat. The whole time I've known her. We dated when she was fat. We got married when she was fat. She knows she's fat. She's fat and she's beautiful. I've got one question just before we proceed. Is she fat or not? He hasn't mentioned it that much. I kind of need that reaffirmed one more time. I'm happy if she loses weight, and I'm happy if she stays where she is. I think she's the most beautiful woman in the world, as is. One of my co-workers, Julia, 28 female, started complaining that she's too fat to be loved, and fat people don't get to be loved. Julia isn't fat. She may be 120 pounds. She works out 5 times a week and barely ever eats. By the way, straight away, Julia seems like a bit of a bitch. Not gonna lie. What do you mean fat people don't deserve to be loved? When did your BMI correlate to how much somebody can love you? I told her that wasn't true, and that my wife was fat. She got really red in the face and started telling me I wasn't allowed to call my wife fat, that I was insulting her, and that my wife was beautiful and curvy. It's the fact he keeps saying fat. It's just like rubbing us the wrong way. I don't know why. Carol doesn't like being called curvy. She thinks it's a label used to avoid calling people fat because it's a dirty word to most people. I told Julia as much. Julia started threatening to tell my wife I called her fat. She pulled up her Instagram and told me she was messaging Carol that I was being mean. I beat her to the punch and called my wife, put her on speaker, and asked oh my god. And asked if she was curvy or fat. By the way, what an insane phone call to get from your husband when he's at work. Imagine that. Oh, there we go. It's Mark. Hello, Mark. You alright? What you mean am I fat or curvy? Who are you talking to? Carol laughed and said, I hate that curvy shit. Fat and beautiful, baby. Slay. Oh. I thanked her, told her I loved her, and hung up. As soon as I hit end, Julia went mental. She started screaming that I was abusing my wife. When I asked how, she said I was clearly brainwashing her into accepting the term fat to try and keep her complacent and from getting away from me. That no woman in her right mind would be okay with their husband calling them fat. I showed her a picture of my wife in a shirt that had BBW on it. She bought it for herself, by the way. She stormed off and hasn't spoken to me since. Now, I just walked in today to an email from HR requesting a meeting with me. I don't think it's a big deal. I have my wife's blog for fat positivity, the shirt, and can easily call her for proof. What's going on, man? But now, things are frigid at work, and Julia constantly gives me dirty looks when we're in the same room. She ignores me otherwise. So I'm just over here, scratching my head. Am I the arsehole for calling my wife fat? I don't think that you're an wait, one thing I will say is you definitely get off on the fact that your wife is fat and the fact that you've mentioned that you're in shape. I think you get off on this in a little bit. Also, it's great that your wife isn't bothered with being called fat, you know, that's great that she's comfortable with that. But the fact you keep mentioning that she is fat and then you've actually rang her up to confirm it once more time, yeah, it's just a little bit weird in my opinion. Also, Julia is also an arsehole. Like, why is she getting so fuming at this? Like, she's getting involved in your relationship when she really doesn't need to, in my opinion. It's fine for her to feel that way, but you shouldn't project that views onto someone that is, you know, that has to deal with getting called these names. Oh, we've got an update. They're basically saying that they went to HR and they asked them about it, but they were able to put their side over and everything was okay, and that him and Julia are no longer going to be paired on teams for patient care. This is really strange. Like, I don't know why Julia got so fuming with you. I hope your wife's okay. That's one thing. I just know Julia went home absolutely fuming. Absolutely boasting about this. The difference between your wife and Julia is that your wife loves herself. Julia can't even pretend to. That's very true. Like, Julia might be projecting things here. Like, clearly, you know, for some reason she might not have that much self-confidence herself and she puts this onto other people. Maybe that's a thing. But it's great that your wife is just comfortable in her own skin. No matter if she's skinny, no matter if she's fat, no matter if she's anywhere in between. As long as you're comfortable in your own skin, then other people's opinions don't matter because it's your life and it's your body. Am I the arsehole if I break up with my boyfriend after he asked to have my friend join in. Oh no. My boyfriend, 23 male, and I, 19 female, was showering after getting at it the other night when he randomly asked, would you ever let another girl join in? This is always an awkward question. I'm saying always as if I always ask Chloe. I ask her every night, she declines. Actually, she wants another guy in, but she just doesn't want me there. Like, she just wants me out the room. So it's this little fun game we've got where I just listen. I laughed thinking he was joking, so I played along and said, with who? Expecting him to say something ridiculous or to make some joke. Instead, he smiled a little and casually went, Olivia, she's pretty and I think she'd like it. Okay, this would really rub me the wrong way. Like, you know, if your partner's asking for one of your friends to jump in and they find them like attractive and also they're insinuating that they would like it, how do you know they would like it? Have you like breached this conversation to them? Like, have you already kind of set this up and all you're waiting for is the green light from me? This is where my mind would be going. I would be overthinking everything. I just kind of froze for a second because I wasn't expecting it at all. At that moment, a dozen questions raced through my mind. Olivia, 18 female, is one of my close friends and she's also got to know my boyfriend, so we all know each other. The last time we all hung out was at the beach for her birthday. I told him I wasn't comfortable with that and asked why he even thought of her specifically. He just shrugged it off and said he figured I'd feel more comfortable with someone we both knew. And he thought she'd say yes. I told him that I was feeling weird right then. He rolled his eyes at me and said it was just a question. I pressed him again why he wanted her specifically. He said he asked me first because the thought popped into his mind and he wasn't expecting me to go along, but he thought it'd be a fun time. He brushed me off like I'm overreacting. He said it was just a dumb, hypothetical, in the moment question. I don't know about breaking up with him over this, but the thought did cross my mind. Am I the arsehole here? Am I overreacting? Love, I'm just going to set you at ease if you ever do watch this video. You are not overreacting here. Like, you are very valid in feeling kind of, you know, self-conscious, a little bit anxious about this because clearly he's thinking of your friend in, you know, like a manner because he wants that to be the third. Every single time they're together now, because you say they're friends, you're going to be overthinking everything, whereas before you just knew that they were friends. Now you're thinking, is there more to this? On the topic of breaking up with them over this, I feel like you need to kind of really sit down with them and talk to him about it, and if he invalidates your feeling and he doesn't take it seriously, is that someone you really want to be with forever anyway? Honestly, if Chloe said to me like, I want you one of your best mates to be in like a threesome with her, I think I would definitely have to, you know, consider things. Man, not enough, right? It's because especially, like, what happens if your friend's just better at doing all of that? Then it makes it even worse. And what happens, like, halfway through if they go, by the way, can you just sit out now? Because this is the way my head's going. I always think of the worst case scenario. I think you should ask him, right, if one of his friends can join in and then see what his reaction is. And if he reacts badly, then hopefully he can see it from your point of view about how you're feeling. I don't think you're the arsehole here. Am I the arsehole for permanently deleting my girlfriend's Instagram? Oh my god, I'm intrigued. Hit me. My girlfriend, 24 female, and I, 27 male, have been dating for 5 years now. I don't have any social media, no Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snap, etc. I am a private guy and like keeping my personal life to myself. I've heard that this is the dream for many girls, like they want someone with no social media. I kind of find it a little bit, what's the word? A little bit mysterious. It's like, you know, those people that have social media accounts, but they only post once a year. It's always in like a black and white filter. I'm like, oh my god, what do they know? Like, have they been abducted by aliens? This is crazy. I'm like so intrigued. My girlfriend, on the other hand, is obsessed with Instagram. She has over 800 photos posted on Instagram and is constantly scrolling through Instagram every waking moment she's not working or sleeping. She would rather spend time attention seeking from her 5,000 followers than spend some quality time with me. I confronted her a few times about this in the last few years, and she always tells me she'll cut down on her Instagram usage, but she never did. Last week she was using my laptop because her laptop was at the store, and I noticed she forgot to log out from her email. I did the forgot password thing and reset her password to log in. I googled how to delete Instagram and followed the link and deleted the account. What? She woke up the next morning and started screaming and crying about how I permanently deleted her Instagram instead of deactivating it and that I betrayed her trust, etc. Now she won't talk to me because she says she can't recover Instagram and her profile of 10 years is lost forever. I think she's been incredibly childish and thrown a tantrum over some random am I the arsehole? Let me just, yes you are. Right, you are a gaping arsehole, right? Like, this is an arsehole, right? This big. This is you. Okay, it's gaping. Right, it's just a dark hole of arseholeness. It's you. I'm going to speak of things from your point of view to begin with, and then I'm going to get on to criticising you. I get that you don't take pride in posting things to social media. You think this is just like this app, this stupid app, and you know, from your point of view, you probably don't think you're doing that big of a thing here. However, you've even said in your own words that this is like a major thing in your girlfriend's life. Like, yous have been together for 5 years, 800 photos. A lot of them 800 photos might have been of you two, and she has lost access to all of them, like our archives, everything. She's lost access because you are self-conscious, maybe, that she's spending more time like speaking to other people, or like, I don't even understand why you've done this. I get that you want to spend more time with your girlfriend because, you know, you love her, but surely there's a better way than just deleting it. Like, this is a total breach of trust. Like, the fact you had to go into our emails, click forgot password, like, that's multiple steps. It's actually pretty evil in a way. This might be a hobby, you know, she might have a stressful job, and this is one thing that just lets her zone out from her problems that she might be facing. Even if she's having problems with you, she can go on Instagram, and you've took that away from her just because you don't think it's valuable to you. Like, this is so selfish and so self-centered. This might sound stupid, like breaking up with someone because they've just deleted your Instagram, but I think she's well within her rights to do it because it's a total breach of trust, and the most important thing in a relationship is trust. Like, how do you know he's not going behind your back and doing other things to sabotage you? Because this is what it is. It's sabotaging your girlfriend. Surely you'd want to like promote something she's interested in, not take it away from her. The more I speak about this, the more I think you're just even more of a gaping arsehole. What a prick. Am I the arsehole for yelling at my girlfriend to stop eating? I'm a male 26 and my sister is female 23. She runs a bakery business and she's been struggling lately to keep up with orders because she's been short-staffed. She does a lot of orders for wedding cakes that require custard or marmalade fillings, and I offered to help her out by making these fillings at home and bringing them to her so she has less work to do. Unfortunately, the past 4 times I've been making these fillings, my girlfriend, female 24, has literally dipped her fingers into the filling jars and contaminated them because, in her words, she just wanted to try some. Judith, what? Why are you doing this? This is awful. You know, if you're making cakes just for you, and you know you want to put a bit of the icing in or lick the back of your spoon, be my guest, go to town, love. But this is for customers. Like, imagine buying a cake and then you read this, like, knowing that this could have been from the company that you bought the cake from. You'd be horrified. I've tried explaining to her that she can't dip her fingers in and contaminate the entire batch because then I have to remake it. I said she should use a spoon and take some of it out if she wants to try it so bad, but she just pouts and says that she likes using her fingers because it takes her back to her childhood. To say, well, as long as it takes her back to her childhood, everyone else, just use a spoon, love. If you really wanted, like, you know, kind of bring back to your childhood, a good sacrifice could be put it on a spoon, then put it on your fingers. The spoon can be the gateway drug to reaching your childhood again, but don't put your fingers straight into it. Today I was trying to finish some chocolate custard to send it over to my sister really fast because she was running late on a wedding cake order for an important client. I told my girlfriend beforehand to not eat the custard, and if she really wanted to, please use a spoon. Oh my god, this is literally like a child. I get out of the shower and what do I see? She has her fingers in it again. I totally lost it because this is the 5th time she blatantly disregarded what I said, and I yelled at her and told her to stop eating. Stop eating the food I'm making. Oh my god, this is class. Why can't she stop eating? Stop putting your fingers in the custard because it's not for her and she's contaminated it. Sorry, you've had to tell her 5 times. Like, at that point, you just have to, like, restrain her. Just, like, tie her to the bed or something. You can't leave her alone with the custard. Your girlfriend's fingers and custards, like, the chemistry, the sexual tension is too much. She started crying and got mad at me for fat-shaming her, even though I made no comment on her weight, and she has no history of weight issues or eating disorders. I know I was harsh, but she kept pushing my limits. Am I the arsehole? Do you you know what? From reading the initial title, I thought I was going to say yes. But you're not the arsehole at all. You're well within your rights to shout at her at this point. Like 5 times. If you shouted at her, like really badly after the first or second time, I'd be like, that's a little bit far. But she's clearly disrespected you. You've told her 5 times, and it's not even the fact that you are eating these cakes. You're trying to help your sister out and get them back like really fast so then she can keep her business going. Like, your girlfriend is literally sabotaging your sister's business here. Can you imagine him going downstairs after the shower with his towel still around his waist like, what the f are you doing? Stop eating the f***ing custard. Does she also wear a diaper and draw on the walls with crayons? Because it reminds me... Because it reminds her of her childhood. That's the perfect comment. It's like you can't just like sabotage your sister-in-law's business because it takes you back to being a child. You know, if I'm in a restaurant and I don't like the food that someone's just put in my mouth, I don't go, oh, fuck that, like I did when I was a child. No, you just leave it on the plate. When you're an adult, you act differently. Okay, love. It's literally like you're looking after a child here. This is not an adult. 5 times? My lord. How do you even tell your sister that? Like, oh, another batch is going to be late. She's stuck her fingers in it again. Am I the arsehole for being angry that my roommate was sleeping under my bed for months without telling me? No. Bro, no. I've told you the story before where I watched a TV show where a killer came underneath someone's bed and then murdered them, and I literally slept with my head against my bedroom door for 6 months after it. This is going to trigger us. I am not excited for this. I, 24 male, have lived with my roommate Carl, 24 male, for 2 years. Oh, he's called Carl. Surely this can't get any lower. A few months into rooming with him, he told me he was pansexual. I said, okay, cool. I'm not interested in that personal information. Nor am I judgmental. I said, alright. I'm pansexual, by the way. Alright. A few times over the last year, he asked me if I ever considered experimenting with other men. I said no. Also, I said I didn't feel comfortable with him asking me such a personal question. It's not like we are close friends. We are only roommates by happenings, basically. What does that mean? Anyway, every time I said this, he basically said, we'll see. I was like, what? Oh my god, I hate where this is going. I hate it. I don't want to read on. Anyways, last night I had a horrific experience. I heard a noise under my bed. It was movement. At first, I thought I was imagining things. But then, I heard it again. I thought, oh god, is it a mouse? Or a rat? Or some shit? My god, this was like 3 a.m. So I got out of my bed, looked under with my phone flashlight. Now this here was the most startling moment of my life. I guess I am lucky because I have never ever before this moment felt true terror and fear as a physical sensation. But I was completely jolted. There, under my bed, was my roommate staring wide-eyed at me, and he screeched when I looked under the bed. I've actually got goosebumps. Genuinely? What? Are you taking the fucking piss? I'm only halfway through already. I can't go on. Go on, read it yourself. I can't do it. I've genuinely got goosebumps. That is terrifying. This could be made into a horror movie. I literally thought I was having a heart attack. I then just started hearing, sorry, my body's under your bed. My roommate crawled out from under the bed, crying, apologizing over and over. I was so creeped out and afraid that I ran out of the apartment in my pajamas. Completely valid. That was open 24/7 a few blocks away. So I just sat in there with the decaf and a breakfast sandwich with my heart thundering away. My roommate kept texting me asking to talk. I ignored it. Then I looked under the table and there he was. No, I added that bit again. Sorry, guys. In the text, he found a way to horrify me even further. He confessed he had been sleeping under my bed a few nights a week for 3 or 4 months. What? Are you taking the fucking piss? I have never seen anything like this in my life. Are you joking me? What are you doing under there? Genuinely, for the rest of my life, I'd be checking underneath my bed. How did you not know? Like, is he going to bed before you? Like, oh, by the way, I'm going to bed. And then he's actually just going, oh, I wish I pissed the bed now. And that he was doing it to get closer to me and physically saturate each other. the fuck? What does physically saturate each other mean? What does that even mean? This is genuinely like one of the most disturbing things I've ever read. Like, this is genuinely horrific. I'm actually mind blown. I don't even have any jokes or anything to the response. I'm actually just horrified here. I waited for him to go to work. I ran into the apartment, got my essentials and left. I am currently crashing with a buddy. Our lease is up in 1 month. My intention is simply to not renew, thank the Lord. This dude is blowing up my phone and I am getting texts from other people, some friends of mine and some bozos who are friends with him. He is going around telling people I shamed him and that I was rejecting his apologies. What kind of a master gaslighter is this guy? How has this guy managed to make himself the victim when he's the one sleeping underneath your bed? I only did it on weekends. God, I give him 5 days to himself. What's he overreacting for? Some people are claiming I am overreacting and invalidating his feelings. Most people agree he was improper, but think I should just work it out with him and give him a second chance because he's sensitive. Sensitive? Fucking sensitive? I'm sensitive. I don't sleep under me roommate's bed. It's got nothing to do with being sensitive. Sensitive? What does that even mean? How were people saying you're overreacting here? A man saying the guy was sleeping under your bed getting wet. If anything, you're not reacting enough. The only way I'm taking an apology here is if he gets a vasectomy. Genuinely. I'm like, you're really sorry, are you? Vasectomy. And I'm coming with you. I want to see it happen. I'll be under the hospital bed. I want to be right up in there. I feel like I'm losing my mind and I am seriously 20% convinced I am experiencing a long lucid dream of some sort and wondering if I am going to wake up or am I in a coma or something, because this is so insane to me. Like, not really, but maybe really. I mean, what the fuck? Am I the arsehole or is everyone around me a f***ing nut? Genuinely, everyone around you is a not. I would be going berserk. This is just, not only is it a complete break of trust, like deleting the Instagram is a break of trust, okay? Like, I thought that was bad. That is nothing compared to this situation. It's creepy. The fact he's insinuating that he was getting wet while you were sleeping, it's creepy. It's really, really, really bad. This person should be locked up. You can't see this from their point of view. Like, there's no way they can, like, kind of make themselves to be the victim here. Even if they were feeling lonely, they could still come up to you and go, by the way, like, I'm feeling a little bit lonely. Like, I don't want to sleep alone. I don't want to sleep in the same bed as you because I know we're not there yet. Do you mind if I just, like, kip underneath your bed? Even if they ask. And then you can be like, whoa, this is weird. I'm okay. And then you've sort of, like, sorted it out. But the fact they haven't got your permission, they're sleeping under your bed without permission, it's the worst kind. Yes, you did shame him. Yes, you rejected his apologies. Why? Because he crossed so many boundaries of common decency, privacy, and basic human respect. Exactly. Christ. Exactly. Like, this makes the stalker from Baby Reindeer seem like a good, like, you know, citizen of society. This is wild. Genuinely wild. I hope you're okay. Am I the arsehole for making my daughter leave because my husband is attracted to her? It just doesn't stop, does it? It genuinely just gets worse and worse. I, 55 female, have been married to my husband and my daughter's stepdad, 63 male, for 4 years. My 23-year-old daughter and I have a complicated relationship. She has been diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder. She has a lot of trauma from watching me and my husband's horrible marriage go down, and she was bullied in school. When she told me she was being bullied by peers, my view that all children are innocent really tied my hands, because I told her that if I said anything to them, I would be an adult harassing a child. I'm sorry, like, I know I'm not a parent, but if anyone was bullying my child, I'm like straight in there. I'm giving them a 1-2. I don't care if it's a child. So she blamed me for that ever since and kept referring to this one time where the kids at school called her trash due to the fact that she wasn't taking care of her hygiene due to depression. Part of my response was telling her to take a shower, and I bought her new clothes. The bullying finally ended with an expulsion and a suspension for the ringleaders. She still throws the fact that a school clinic volunteer told her that if she was their kid, she'd have permission to punch back if administrators didn't do anything. I thought that having her live with me while she finishes school and gets a job would help heal some childhood wounds, if my second husband and I modelled a healthy relationship. However, my daughter now doesn't get along with my husband. She is very introverted, creative person who likes immersing herself in escapism. What? That was like a Kendrick Lamar lyric. What did I just read there? I felt like that just made me mind come. So she'd get annoyed if she was sitting eating alone and my husband would sit across from her and eat, saying she ate later so she could eat alone. However, my husband started acting distant from me, and my daughter complained that his eyes lingered for too long. She got very angry and there was a lot of shouting and slamming of doors. Finally, my husband admitted he's attracted to her and it's hard for him to be around her all day. He's 63. And she's 23. He's 40 years older than her. He said that she was a walking temptation and said that's why he was avoiding with me. A walking temptation. She's 23, you pervert! That's the person you're meant to be looking after. That's the person you're meant to be keeping safe. Yes, she's an adult. She's 23. But you still, should be there caring for her. Your duty as a stepdad is to make sure that if she needs anything, you're there for her. You shouldn't be saying she's a walking temptation. Are you alright? That's horrific. I was so upset to hear this. I don't blame my daughter for this, but at the same time, the situation has become unbearable. Something would have to give, and I couldn't collect my thoughts with both of them still being in the house. So I gave my daughter money to stay at an extended stay hotel and asked her to utilise her college's emergency financial and housing resources they have for students in need. She responded by storming out and telling my ex, who is now circulating social media, using it to paint me as the villain of all villains. I'm guessing that's her biological dad. I'm not abandoning my daughter. She qualifies for those resources anyway, since my ex is unemployed and we are in substantial debt. I just need time to process the situation and don't want to leave my house to stay with my daughter when I have a marriage to figure out whether or not to save. Am I the arsehole? Point blank, I'm going to say you are. I think you're such a huge arsehole here because you're talking about how your daughter deals with trauma. Clearly she's seen you and her biological dad go through a lot of stuff which has caused her to develop some, trauma things which have really had a bad impact on her upbringing and shaped who she is today. That's why she's probably an introvert and she just keeps herself to herself. All of these things lead to, create the person she is today. So not only have you done this to her, you're her mother. Okay, you are the one person in the entire world that she should feel safe with. And the fact that in the house that she lives in, she feels uncomfortable because her stepdad himself has admitted that he wants to shag her. How are you kicking her out for this? Surely that is a huge red flag to split up with this partner. Yes, it might be another failed marriage that you've got, but surely it's worth splitting up with this man to keep your daughter safe. How have you kicked your daughter out? Yes, you've given her money to stay at a hotel, but she should be in her own home. She's done nothing wrong here. Maybe it's the reason that she doesn't want to sit across from him when she eats is because he's looking at her in a weird way. I can't believe you can't see this. You're blinded by your love for this man, this creep. The guy's 63 for Christ's sake. Oh my god, this one actually annoys us. This poor daughter, she's only 23, has got no one to rely on. Nobody seems to put her first. Even her biological dad is using this as a way to get back at his ex on social media. He's almost using it as a one-upping kind of technique. So she probably doesn't even feel safe with him. So at this point, she's going to feel incredibly isolated. And also, her entire childhood, her entire, everything she built herself on was ripped apart when you guys split up. And, the fact that you guys have split up, that's fine. You weren't happy. But you have to put your daughter first. And none of you are putting your daughter first here. Why would you want to be with your husband when he's literally said he's avoiding sleeping with you because he wants to sleep with your daughter instead? That is, the biggest red flag of all time. That red flag has been saturated physically. Okay, you need to check underneath your daughter's bed. Okay, because if he's not in your bed, that's possibly where he is. Am I the arsehole for refusing to change bikinis after my husband had asked me to wear a thong? Okay, so yesterday it was my husband's birthday. We're both 22. You're married at 22? Wow, you guys have got your together. And he wanted to have some friends over for some pool time. Thought it was going to just be a chill time, I'd cook for them, etc. Yesterday afternoon, he asked if I could wear a thong bikini because he wanted to show me off to his friends. Now, I have no problem wearing something that revealing when it's just the two of us, but I always opt for more coverage when we have company. But I felt bad for saying no to him on his birthday, so I told him that I'd do it. So I put it on about a half hour before his friends arrived, and he was thrilled, which made me feel a little better temporarily. But then he asked if I could take the bra pads out. Oh my god, what? I told him I really didn't want to do that, but he asked a few more times, and then I did it. But I was getting upset at this point. His friends come over, I'm bringing them food and beers, and about a half hour in, my husband comes inside while I'm in the kitchen and says he doesn't like how much his friends are looking at me, and that he wants me to change into a different bathing suit. What? You wanted this. She literally was uncomfortable and did this because this is what you wanted. And now you're trying to turn the tables because you're insecure? I told him that I wasn't going to change, that he wanted me in next to nothing, even when I didn't want to be in next to nothing. And that's what he was going to get. His friends left a few hours later and we got into a big fight. We're somewhat resolved now, but I just feel weird. I guess I'm just looking for unbiased opinions here. Am I the arsehole? I don't think you're the arsehole here, because you were going out with your way even though you felt really uncomfortable to like make your boyfriend comfortable because it was his birthday. You just wanted to make him happy, basically. Even the fact you're bringing out drinks, you're cooking food for them, like that's a really nice thing to do. Like you're going out of your way, like that's wifey material. You know, that's like people would dream of that. I think your boyfriend is like very insecure. Obviously he's only 22, so you know he's not going to be the most secure in himself because you're just not when you're younger. He very clearly wants to show you off as if like you're an achievement that he's managed to get somebody like you, which shows that he does find you really attractive in a weird way, I kind of guess. But he's kind of treating you like an object, like a vehicle to kind of get one up on his friends, so his friends are kind of jealous of him in a weird way. You can tell he's a little bit insecure here. And what makes him even more insecure is the fact that when his friends are like, oh my god, yeah, she's like absolutely attractive as hell, he then gets insecure because maybe he thinks one of them's going to make a move on you, so that he tries to like tell you to put more clothes on. It's just giving off insecurity. It reeks of it. People in the comments are basically just saying like he's now learned a valuable lesson in trying to control your clothing choices, or lack of clothing in this case. That is true. Like you just wear what you want to wear, right? Like, and it's weird that he was also asking you to take your bra pads out. Like he's almost trying to get you to be completely naked. Like he's almost not treating you like his wife. He's treating you just like a kind of like object at this point. Why would you want your mates to be able to see your wife's nipples? Like, that's just weird to me. I don't think you're the arsehole at all. I think he is the arsehole. Am I the arsehole for sending an explicit video my ex sent me to hurt me to her family? Oh my god, this is revenge. Hi, am I the arsehole? I am going to try to make this as brief as possible so I don't ramble. I dated M for a year and a half. During this time, I confided in her some personal secrets which I don't feel comfortable sharing, even anonymously. Because of this, she knows that there are certain things related to sex mostly that I am very sensitive towards. We did not part on friendly terms after our breakup, and we don't talk anymore. I broke up with her because I found out she cheated on me and she flipped out. Recently, I found out that she is seeing one of my co-workers and that he is spreading rumours about me that she told him. Oh, this is bad. She basically told him bits and pieces of the personal information I shared with her when we were together, and now he's spreading some of that around the office. What a prick. I sent her a message telling her to stop spreading my secrets around and to leave me alone. She replied sending me explicit videos of herself having sex with my co-worker because she knew it would hurt me. That was the last straw for me, and I sent the video to all of her family and friends with the message that this is what M sends me when I ask her to leave me alone and stop spreading rumours. Oh my god, this is layered. This is bad. This is like more complex than what it kind of gives off. Her family is quite religious and they lost it. You know what, I feel like anyone would lose it, even religious or not. Apparently they pulled their financial support from her college and aren't speaking with her at the minute. Am I the arsehole? Okay, let's just take... I need your opinion on this one, because this one definitely is layered. First off, her and her new boyfriend are complete arseholes. Like, genuinely, like, in my opinion, this seems like she's not really over you. The fact that she cheated on you, like, that is... like pretty ridiculous in itself. She's hurt you in that way, and it's like not enough. Like, this person seems very spiteful. Like, she was the one that ended the relationship with her actions, and she's still trying to get back at you. The fact she's sending you videos of her sleeping with her new partner shows to me that she still is obsessed with you in a weird way, and it really shows her true nature. Like, this isn't a very nice person at all, and obviously it's not nice for you, because these really personal things that you've told someone in a moment where you were feeling, you know, very comfortable with them, you possibly even loved them, like, those things should be kept within that relationship, and once you break up, they should never be talked about again. And if she's sending you these videos which are relating to your insecurities, you're going to be feeling really angry and you're going to be feeling like you need to take action, especially when you've asked her to stop and she doesn't. But sending that to our family and friends, like, that is, you know, if there's one way to stop it, that would be that would be. I don't know if I'm here for it, because you're still sending, like, is that revenge? Paul, it's not. Like, it's an eye for an eye, basically. Like, everyone's an arsehole here. Like, you sending it to our family as you being an arsehole as well. However, it kind of was warranted, because it's gonna make us stop. But this is like, this, I don't even know if this is like illegal at this point. Okay, so in the updates, people have said like, oh, what was the rumors? Was it that you had a tiny dick? And he's like, no, it's a lot more serious than that. Now, he's saying that he was a victim of CSA. Obviously, I can't say what that is in this video, otherwise it'll just get took off the internet. But, you know, like, obviously I've spoke about my experiences with that. That, you know, completely changes you. And the fact that his ex is now using that against him is, that is like, I thought she was bad before. This is really, really bad. And now I'm kind of on his side for sending the videos. Also, she's been spreading this around the office. Like, she's been telling people that he's a victim of this. Like, this is really horrific. Like, this person is actually evil. Like, she cheated on you. You didn't cheat on her. He said that we have not spoken since all of this has happened. My co-worker has been on sick leave apparently for the last couple of days, and I've not heard anything from him. Yeah, I mean, he's probably going to be feeling a little bit weird as well, because he's going to be feeling like, why have you seen me, like, having sex with my new girlfriend? Like, it's weird for everyone, even though he's also an arsehole in this situation, because he's spreading the rumours. This is genuinely one of the most horrific situations I've ever seen, and I just really hope that you're okay, because you should feel safe at work. You shouldn't feel like you're exposed at work. And, you know, CSA is something that you should only come out when you feel comfortable enough to say it. You should never, ever have someone else exposing that on your behalf, because this is a real issue. Do you know what I mean? This is like nothing to joke about or nothing to spread. This is really, really bad. That was a deep one. Oh my god. Am I the arsehole for refusing to let Karen neighbour use my pool after she demanded I follow her pool rules? This is so petty. This is what we've needed. A little pick-me-up. So I, 34 male, live in a suburban neighbourhood with a decent sized backyard and a pool. I've always been friendly with my neighbours, including Karen, mid-40s female, who moved in next door about a year ago. She seemed nice at first, but as time went on, she started to show her true colours. Over the summer, Karen started coming over with her kids, asking if they could use my pool. At first, I didn't mind, because I was usually outside anyway, and the kids seemed to enjoy it. But soon, things got weird. Karen began showing up unannounced, sometimes even when I wasn't home, and I caught her using the pool without my permission. Using the pool without your permission? I bet she was pissing in it as well. I know Karens, I know they've got a weak bladder. One day I came home to find Karen and several of her friends having a full-on pool party in my backyard, complete with snacks, music and pool floats. Oh, pool floats! That's taking the piss. I confronted her and she acted like it was no big deal, saying, oh, you weren't using it, so I figured it was fine. What? What kind of logic's that? That's like, you know, if next door's bath breaks and they're like, oh, can I just like take a shower or bath in yours? And you're like, oh yeah, you go for it. But then you walk in your house and they're just like using your products in your bath without your consent. You're going to be a little bit freaked out, especially if they stink. I told her politely but firmly that she needed to ask before coming over and that I wasn't comfortable with her just assuming she could use the pool whenever. Karen seemed annoyed but agreed to follow the rules. Then, last week, she took things to a whole new level. Karen knocked on my door with a typed up list of pool rules that she wanted me to follow. Her list included things like, by the way, the fact that she's like made a list of pool rules for your pool, I genuinely drop kick her. No swimming after 5 PM because her kids have a strict bedtime. No loud music when her family is outside. Mandatory weekend access for her and her kids, but only for their exclusive use. What do you think this is? Do you think you're going to Siam Park or something? You've rented like the fast track tickets? What are you doing here? This is his pool. He's paid for it. It's part of his house. You can't dictate when you can use it. I thought she was joking at first, but she was dead serious. I laughed and told her there was no way I was following any of her pool rules for my pool. Karen got angry and called me selfish, saying that I was ruining the neighborhood spirit and being unfair to the kids. Oh my god. How is this a real person? How has she typed up a document of rules that you need to follow about your own home? That's mental. Now she's been spreading rumors to the other neighbors that I'm a bad guy for not sharing the pool. Some of the neighbors have even said said I should just let it go to avoid drama. But I feel like this is insane. It's my pool, and she's acting like she owns it. Am I the arsehole here? No. Okay, you're not the arsehole. You've went out of your way to be kind to this family who you thought were nice at first, and they've, like, took advantage of your kindness. That's what's happened here. Genuinely, this is like the plot to a really terrible Christmas movie. It reminds us of Christmas with the Cranks. You know, where everyone gets really angry at them just because they want to go on a cruise for one Christmas? Like, as if they're, like, committing a crime for doing that. The whole neighbourhood's asking, like, you're rebelling just because you don't want them using the pool when you're not there. You're well within your rights to say that. It's part of your home. It's not a community pool. It's like, you know, if you went to a community centre and you said to people, by the way, when I'm here, like, you can't use this pool, then you're an arsehole. But this one's yours. Okay, we've got an update as well. He's put a keypad lock on the backyard fence. This pool is for me and me only, thank you very much, Karen. Karen noticed the lock pretty much immediately. She was at my door furious, saying I was locking out the neighbourhood kids and treating her family like criminals. She went on about how I was being dramatic and why I couldn't just let them use it like before. I told her straight up that I wanted some privacy and control over who was using my pool. After all, it's in my backyard, not a community park. She rolled her eyes and said I was being selfish. If you want to use a pool with your kids, go to a public one or ask somebody else. If you didn't take advantage of his kindness, you still would be in that pool. But you couldn't do that, could you, Karen? You had to have a pool party with inflatables. Even if she went, look, like, I know I'm taking the here, but like, my friends are in town, we'll have a party at the pool, and like, we'll buy all the drinks, we'll buy all the stuff, and you can literally be a part of it, invite your family, then that's fair enough. But she didn't even invite you. Imagine there being a party in your own home and you're not invited. That is a new law. Somehow that would happen to me in the future if I end up single. Am I the arsehole for breaking up with my girlfriend because she literally told me she would cheat on me if I took a new job? People are unhinged, guys. Honestly, what's going on? I know this is going to come across as first world problems. I'm currently at a job where I earn £250,000 a year. I have an opportunity for a job where I will get £640,000 a year. Sir, what is this? Are you like a trained assassin? What job pays that much? Like, on a salary as well? Like, you're not even owning your own business here. I will be gone for 4 months at a time instead of 4 weeks at a time. My girlfriend is unhappy. She says that she doesn't want me gone for that long. She will get lonely. I try to explain that I will only be doing this job for 1 or 2 years and that the money I make sets us up for a bright future. We can pay off all our debts, we can buy a house, we can travel on my off time. She then said that she doesn't care about any of that and that if I'm gone for that long, she might need company. I didn't understand at first, and I said that we could get the dog she has been wanting to get. She said she meant human company. I said that she had lots of company at work and at school, and she was welcome to use our place to socialise all she wanted. She then spelled it out because I was stupid to think she was a decent human. She said that she wasn't going to go for months without sex. That is a spanner in the works. I said I completely understood and broke up with her. She is going crazy right now. She is at her sister's house and calling me and texting constantly. She said that I misunderstood and that she would never cheat on me. Like I said, I'm gone for a month at a time now, so I'm pretty sure she's been lonely before. I can't trust her, and I'm not going to try and build a future with someone who can't think about plans. This one, okay, I feel like we might disagree on this one. Let's debate in the comments, okay? Going from £250,000 a year to £640,000 a year, like, that is a huge jump. But £250,000, right? That's a hell of a lot of money anyway. Like, you're basically like well off. Not even well off. You're like a millionaire if you have that job for 4 years. Do you know what I mean? Let's talk about your girlfriend's perspective first, okay? Like, you're already gone for a month at a time. Like, that is a lot of time to spend away from your partner. You know, like, that, it might not seem like a lot to you because, you know, you're working, you're probably busy. But for her, you know, she will get lonely during that time. Now, 4 months, that's like a third of the year you're not going to see your partner. Now, I know loads of people that wouldn't be comfortable with this. And she's just been really abrupt with it, being like, look, like, I'm not going to be able to go that long without sex, and that seems pretty brutal. It is brutal. I think the way she's phrased it comes off like a bit like an arsehole, because she's basically kind of insinuating that if you're not here, then she's gonna need some human company. So that kind of insinuates that, look, I'm gonna shag someone else. So I can understand why you would take it this way and be like, oh my god, like, she's gonna cheat on us. Has she cheated on us before? Your mind, if you're an insecure person, is gonna be racing. I totally get that. But I don't know if this is because I'm not like a money motivated person. In my opinion, I would keep the £250,000 a year job and see my girlfriend for more time in the year. Like, I don't think I'd be I know it's a huge pay rise and it's a hell of a lot of money, but you're already earning a hell of a lot of money. There comes a point where you kind of need to find the balance between actually being like, is your job your main focus, or is your relationship your main focus? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because you are kind of disregarding your relationship here, being away for a third of the year. I know a lot of people in the comments might disagree with me, but I just think that from the girlfriend's perspective, this can't be easy for her either. However, the way she said it is very kind of spiteful and is kind of making sure that you don't go. I think you guys need to just sit down. Like, you've broke up with her straight away. You just need to talk about it. Because she's claiming that she didn't mean it in this way. I think she probably did at the time, but now she regrets saying it. If she just said, like, I'm going to be lonely, like, I don't want to spend that much time away from you, I feel like that would have been phrased a lot better. And I don't think this necessarily insinuates that she's cheated on you before, because like I said, spending a month apart is a lot different from spending 3 months apart. Like, that's like, it's obviously treble the time. This is such a weird one. I don't know if anyone's the arsehole here. I just think maybe it's your you know, what you want out of life at this moment isn't matching up. You're very clearly chasing the bag, and she's very clearly trying to build like her life around her relationship. To be fair, she's probably not. She just wants you here, basically. She wants her boyfriend to be home as much as possible. If anything, it just shows she loves you. I just think you need to chat about this, because this has got like really out of hand. I know a lot of people are going to be like, Cam, I can't believe you said that you would turn down £600,000, but like, I live in Newcastle. Like, if you're on a salary of £250,000 a year, you can pretty much get any house here. You don't need the £600,000 unless you want to be like, you'd basically be like a sheik here if you had £600,000 a year. I know you've said you're only going to have the job for a year or maybe 2 years, but you know, that is going to have a really severe impact on your relationship. So you just need to weigh up if you really like this person, if you're willing to sacrifice this time away from them. Let me know in the comments what you think. I love these videos, by the way. I have done a previous video, Am I the Arsehole, if you want to go and watch it here. Like that one, some of the problems in that one were genuinely mental. So go and watch that one, or watch another Reddit video from me. I've got like an entire kind of backlog of them now. Go binge watch them.
Kirkham, baby.